What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. We are live on IG and on YouTube. Shout out. Amazing stuff. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smack it, lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, it is a talk show, so you can call in any point during the show and we can talk about whatever. And you can get whatever you want off your chest by calling 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. No matter where you are, you can call in. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. Or go directly to YouTube and hit the super chat button. Send your question or comments there. I will read them live on air. So you do have those options. And if you just want to support the show, that's very much appreciated as well. Links are in the description. And all that good stuff. So, shout out to YouTube and the Snake Pit, the Mod Squad holding it down. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to the IG chat, the Lions Den, holding it down as well. Appreciate y'all. Right on. I see the people in the chat. I'm loving it. Nice. We want to keep that engagement going in the chat on IG. You know what I mean? Let people know that JFTV is the place to be on IG. You know what I mean? Don't get me started. I could flow. I could rap. Stand up. Stand up. You're sounding super fuzzy on the hold line. What the? Wow. Callers on the line already. Appreciate it. There are some lines still open, so get in while you can. 888-775-3773. Callers, I will get to you in a second. Give me a second. Stay on the line. I will get to you guys shortly. I just got a couple things I want to show you guys. So listen, we got some clips to play today. We got some stuff to talk about. We got to get to it. But always never ever forget. Don't believe nothing I say. Don't believe nothing I say. Think for yourself and know for yourself. You know? Think for yourself and know for yourself. Understand for yourself. Because look, I can always be wrong. But I'm going to share what's on my mind. I'm going to speak on what I believe to be true. And let's get into it. I got a clip I want to play. This is just a fun fact. We're going to start off light. You know what I mean? Kind of makes the point of the topic of the show today, but I want to kind of start it off light and give you guys a little fun fact about what I realized from this video I'm going to play you guys. So this clip right here, straight out the gate, is from TikTok. And here's a compilation of little babies reacting to the sound of a cow's moo. Okay? Here we go.
No. It's okay.
Moo.
Moo. Okay.
Moo.
Oh, hey. It's okay. Moo. Oh, no. Moo. Oh, my God. I'm so
That is hilarious. Or, not hilarious, but kind of hilarious. And you're probably wondering, what is it about the cow's moo that makes babies cry like that? And I have a fun fact. Cute little babies, huh? I have a fun fact is that the sound of a moo, what that does is that, like, 'cause I was wondering, what's going on? It's like a low vibration. So you hear the sound moo or anything that sounds like it's like a low vibration. And what that's called in music is like very similar to like an 808, right? So some of you guys who know music and some of the sounds, an 808 has like a similar sound, right? It's very low and it vibrates a certain way. And what it does is it triggers an emotional response. And so sounds like moo or like boo. The reason why those are so like effective, like especially when someone boo, why it's so effective, because that sound, it triggers an emotional response within you. That's why certain music and certain songs that have that low vibration, they're strategically and purposely and intentionally made that way to give that effect. So that's why there's songs that's why like Kanye West made an album 808 and Heartbreaks, 808s and Heartbreaks, right? It's an intentional thing to make you react. So that's why the babies are reacting in that way, is because moo has a negative effect on the person's emotions. So I thought I'd share that out the gate with you guys to kind of like start the conversation on, is negativity ever necessary, right? That's the topic today. And I was thinking about it, and of course I kind of I dug a little bit deeper on like negativity and like right and wrong, and I just wanted to bring some things to the show and see what you guys thought about it. Right, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, such words, like negative and positive words, right? Like, for example, if like the word no, right? The word no. If you really think about it, and I never really thought about this until I was really kind of like preparing the show. I was like, if you think about the word no, right? No also is a negative word. It has a negative a response. So if I say no, it's low vibration as well, but it also like closes off the mouth. And I know you guys think I'm making this up. I'm not. Just hear me out. If you hear the word no, it closes off the mouth, but it's also very low, very monotone. So it also triggers that negative, that emotional response. But what it also does is it closes off the mouth. No, right? But as far as the word yes is more positive, because yes is, it moves upwards, right? And yes also opens up the mouth and shows the teeth. Yes, right? So that's why it's a positive word. So it sounds crazy, but these words have more effect on like natural communication in the world than what we think. So words like yes tend to be more uplifting and positive and encouraging to people, right? But stuff like stop is another negative word, stop. And then happy is another positive word, happy, because it opens up the mouth, opens up the face. You know what I mean? There's certain words that come off as negative and certain words that come off as positive, right? But then the question comes in as then which ones are right and which ones are wrong? Both calls are for Drew. Nice. And then it goes into what's right and what's wrong. Well, then that's when the lines get blurry, right? That's when the lines get blurry. Well, what is right and what is wrong, right? What is negative and what is positive? Well, if we're speaking on negative and positive, the word no is negative. But there's a time that we should say no, right? There's a time to use the word no, right? There's a time to say stop. These are both negative words, but there's a time to use them, right? So though they're negative words and there's a time to use them, does that make them wrong? No, right? Because we have to use them at times, maybe to put our foot down, maybe to get our point across, right? But those are negative words, but sometimes they're necessary. And then think about when it comes to criticism. When you think about criticism can come off as very negative, right? Because what you're doing in criticism is you're pointing out the problem instead of pointing out the solution, right? Criticism is oftentimes pointing out the broken arm instead of focusing on the arm that works, right? And that's a negative thing. It's negative, right? It's pointing down instead of pointing up, right? But there's a time for it. So does that mean it's wrong? No. So I say all that to say that right and wrong are also the same as negative and positive. And everybody want to fight me on it. And I've been doing my shows about it, about right and wrong, that there is no right and wrong and that there's only love. And you guys have been disagreeing with me, but if you really think about it, there is none, right? And we're actually more conflicted. Hopefully YouTube probably is not going to like this episode. We're actually more conflicted by identifying with right and wrong. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't go out in the world and be smart. It doesn't mean you don't go out in the world and be reckless, right? You be aware of yourself. But identifying with right or wrong actually causes more problems because there's a time for everything. And right and wrong is a setup. Because it's based off of picking a side. And I want to show you guys another clip of criticism, right? Of somebody criticizing women. I don't see it as wrong, right? But somebody like known for criticizing women, and I don't see it as wrong. But I want to show you what I'm talking about. And we're just gonna think about some stuff. Like, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, not marinate on it, but like, what's the word? I'm gonna get it right now. It's not marinate, it's ponder. We're gonna ponder a little bit. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. We're called to be righteous, Joel. She said, I said, ponder. Us minorities, she said, we don't know those words. I learned them from probably Hake. But hear me out. But let me play this clip. This is from. No, I'm gonna just play it.
Queens are more likely to wage war than kings.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd get along. Have you ever spoken to Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah.
I feel like you guys would get along really well.
Yeah. He's I think he's even more like, I guess, out there than me, I would say.
He's a national treasure. Yeah, I've spoken to Jesse a few times, and his theory is kind of like goodness comes from above.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so if God is giving goodness from above, the man is above the woman in the household. So God gives good to the man, and then evil comes from below. So evil comes through the woman. And then in order to understand goodness, the woman has to get that through the man. Would you say you're pretty much on the same page as Jesse there?
Well, yeah, because I just started realizing, like, when men are given power, they like build these amazing societies, right? You know, if they wanted, all the men could get together and they could make us sex slaves. They could say, you know what, we're going to throw all these women in cages. But no, they don't do that. They said, all right, ladies, you want some rights? Here you go. You want to work? Here you go. You want to be a mother? Here you go. Oh, you don't want to be a mother? We'll make you birth control. Oh, you don't want to do any housework? We'll make you Roombas. What have women contributed to society?
I love Pearl because she just be like, she's honest, but she does it in such like a way to where it's not off-putting, but it's talking down on the ladies, right? It's talking down on women. It comes off as negative. And Pearl even says in this episode, by the way, this is the episode I was supposed to play on the JLP show today. I mean, this is the clip, but I got the wrong one. But, yeah, Pearl even says on this episode that the Jake was like, well, what's the solution? And she's like, well, I don't have any solutions. Right. And oftentimes, you know, a lot of the times the ladies, I mean, guys do it too, but the ladies will point out the problem. And what she does is she always points out the problem, and she doesn't have the solution. It's always the problem. And at one point I was listening to it, and I'm like, listen, like it comes off as negative when she's saying these things like women are evil, women come from the bottom. And I agree with a lot of these things, right? But when I'm listening, I'm like, wow, it does come off as negative, right? I can understand why people, you know, have stuff to say about it. It comes off as negative. And then I thought, like, but why is it so good? You know what I mean? Because it goes back to the right and wrong thing. Like, maybe there was a time where, quote unquote, what she was saying would be wrong and hateful and mean, right? But we live in a time now where I feel like the things that she's saying is necessary. Now, should she have solutions? Yeah. Should she be a lady and not really get caught up on having an opinion? Maybe. But what she's saying is right. It's true. But it's not necessarily positive, but it's true. So, again, the point of all of this, the point that I'm trying to make here is that right and wrong is the law of the world. Okay? Hear me out. Hear me out, YouTube. Listen closely, YouTube. Right and wrong is the law of the world. But love is the law of the heart. So if we're able to understand love and recognize the light within, God within, and let God lead us through life, then we won't be so hung up on these rules that are put here that we follow and uphold to, that tend to prevent us from overcoming and being free. Like it was negative in the Bible for Jesus to heal on the Sabbath. Everybody saw that as negative, but Jesus was living by a law of the heart. It is negative. It saw negative when people are fighting against trying to bring down Trump and convict him for all these things and all these attacks on Trump. But when he fights back, it's seen as negative, right? But he doesn't live by what the world says politicians should do. He's living by the law of the heart. The law of the heart saying, I'm going to war back with you. When the Joker was destroying the world and the cops are like, we can't, Gotham PD was like, we can't stop the Joker because we can't break the law. And then Batman was like, I'll break the law. What's up? Living by the law of the heart. And we got to learn how to do that. Because we'll never win the spiritual battle or the battle for the country or any of that until we're willing to live by the law of the heart. And I'm not saying, and that's not an excuse to go breaking rules. So don't get it twisted. I ain't saying that, YouTube. Terry said Batman again. Listen, I'm not even like a comic superhero nerd. I'm really not at all. Right? But that movie is so perfect to the things that I've been trying to explain that I'll be a nerd for the sake of bringing that up every moment I get. So perfect. Watch Dark Knight Rises. You want to know what I'm talking about? Watch that. And that's what it means to embrace the dark side. Embracing the dark side is exactly what Trump's doing right now. Exactly what Jesse does, right? It's standing firm and in the right times fighting back. Because the Christians, you know what I'm saying? The Christians would be too scared to fight back. The Christians would be, not that they're scared, but they're more so like trying to take the high road, time to turn the other cheek. And trust me, I'm one of those. I've been one of those until I'm starting to realize certain things. Not doesn't mean that you don't sometimes turn the cheek. I'm just saying that there's a time for everything. And the Christians lose and the conservatives lose because they're afraid to cross these lines that don't even exist. They're not even real. Meanwhile, everybody else is just doing whatever, the Joker doing whatever he wants, and he don't care. He just wants you, he don't care. You know what I mean? So, watch Bad Boys. That's another one. Watch Bad Boys. That's another one. Maybe I'm watching too much movies. Maybe that's the problem. But that's not the point. The point is Christians got to start standing firm and being real. But being solid. Solid! Christians got to be solid, period. And you're not going to be solid by this, like, I don't know, in the clouds Christianity. Last thing, and I'm going to get to some calls. Real quick comment. One thing I loved about JLP is when I first came here, like, I was quoting the scripture. I was like, holy. And I didn't even realize I was all those things. Matter of fact, my first interview that Jesse did of me was on the JLP show, and he had me on, and I had my godly gifted shirt on. I was just so holy. The Bible couldn't touch the ground. It couldn't get dusty, that type of thing. But what I learned from him is like how he was just a real person. And he wasn't talking that language. And he was just talking to people in a real way. And that like really like brought me perspective on a lot of things. And some things he would say to me, I'd be like, what did the pastor just say? Did the pastor just say that? I like, did you guys hear? And he had no shame or nothing about it. And it was just him being a real person, just a normal, a regular person. And that's what people relate to. And that's what people want to see. They just want to see a regular person, right? So there's a time to go to war and fight. And I'm talking, well, let it be whatever it needs to be in the moment. But I'm not condoning violence, YouTube, none of that. I'm just saying there's a time for everything, but there's also a time to be gentle, turn the other cheek, kindness, encouraging, positive. There's a time for that too. But don't get Jesus twisted. Jesus wasn't no punk. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody think Jesus was so nice and sweet, and yeah, he was. But Jesus also wasn't no punk. People knew Jesus wasn't no punk. And he didn't have to fight and swing and do all those things, right? But he also wasn't no punk. So I don't want y'all, we need to not forget that part. And I'm learning that side more and more. But anyway, I got to get some calls because I only got a little bit of time. Joelle has all female mods. And that's right, female mod JFTV. Huh, female mods. Huh, Terry, huh, C-Sal. That's right, female mods holding it down. And you keep talking mess, I'm going to stick the female mods on you. Anyway. Okay. Calls are in. Let me go to, because I didn't get to this call yesterday. Let me go to JC out of Arkansas. JC, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joey? Oh, my gosh. There's so many things I want to say. There's so many things I want to say. Okay, so first, before I get into my topic,
okay,
how are you doing?
All is well, man. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good. I'm doing always stunned when I listen to these programs. Always stunned. But you know what? Before I get to my topic, you know why June is one of my favorite months?
Because it's Pride.
Oh, I didn't know y'all would say that. I love Pride. No, I was going to just say Black Music Month.
Because what?
It's Black Music Month.
Oh, because it's Trump's birthday month.
No, Black Music Month.
Oh, Black Music Month? What the? You made that up.
No, that's a real thing. That's what June is.
No.
Black music. So people can blast the end of your track on Justice Lee Peterson song all month long, and you could be celebrated.
Nice. I like that.
Oh, my God. Okay, so the seriousness. First of all, do you believe some of the things that are said in these clips, like what Pearl said? Do you believe some of these things?
Like what? Give me for example.
Well, because my topic is, why do you hate women? And so she was saying things like, I forgot specifically what she was saying in the clip and stuff, but like, I think she was saying things like, what did women contribute to society? She said that.
Oh, yeah.
She said that. I'd be so stunned when I hear certain things being said. I'm like, people actually think this backwards, think these ways. Like, women contribute so many things to society. They teach women how to be great mothers, great friends.
Yes.
They are the more, sensitive and gentle sets of the two sexes. Women have contributed so many things, and they keep doing so many different things all around the world. So
I don't disagree with what you're saying. As a matter of fact, I agree with that being the case for women, but I don't think that's what Pearl was speaking on. Pearl was speaking more on as far as like workforce, because the women want to get into the workforce and they want to compete, right? They want to like outdo, the men. And when it comes to contribution in that way, oftentimes, I'm not saying it's impossible, but oftentimes the women aren't doing the contribution. It's the men that is creating the society's civilization and advancing technology and all these things. Is there a woman in there here and there? Maybe so, but that's what she's saying, is that women, men tend to succeed in that aspect where women don't often. That's not their place. Their place is what you just said, to be sensitive and kind and sweet and be a mother, because that role is needed to be in the home and raise the child to some degree. Like, that part is necessary.
And speaking of, you said right and wrong, how you don't believe right and wrong. I'm pretty sure there's certain things in the comments being said about me that'll definitely prove that right and wrong is real. I haven't even looked. But, no, there's a lot of things, though. Like, we don't live in the 1800s anymore. Women have did so many things. They contribute so many things, and just outside of even just being mothers and things like that. They do
like what?
So much. I mean, yeah, I know y'all don't like a good, strong woman over there for some reason, but like, I love my Michelle Obama. I love her. I hate when people call her. I hate when y'all's fan base call her Big Mike, because that is so
Nobody here calls Big Mike. Nobody here. And I disavow anybody that says Big Mike.
They be some rude people in those chats.
I disavow that. Right. That's not respectful.
No, it's very disrespectful and stuff. But there's so many there can be women doctors, women lawyers. There's so many. I mean, even, what was it? Hake was talking about, like the Caitlin Clark stuff, how women are doing well in WNBA and stuff. I'm not necessarily a sports fan, and I've never really watched the WNBA, but that's just showing for years women can do the same thing that men can do. If I'm going to compete with somebody, let me beat the best man, but also let me beat the best woman, because I want to be number one in general. Yeah. Okay, if that makes sense.
No, yeah. I'm not against people. Listen, like, if people want to do whatever they want to do, if women want to do that, I'm not against that. My only thing is that, like, it is going to be working against, you just don't want to work against your woman nature. You want to make sure that you understand what that is first, for one, but for two, you want to operate in that, because oftentimes when these women are out doing these things, it's not a natural desire to want to do these things like men typically do. It's either a teaching or a rebellion or something, because natural nature, which is I don't need to define that, but the natural nature is not interested in these type of things. So if they want to do that, then that's fine. I'm not against it. Like, we talk about Caitlin Clark all the time. I talk about Caitlin Clark on the show, and I give her flowers, respect if you put the work in. But there's also something to say for the fact that she's starting to look manly. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, God.
That's just what it is. That's just how it works.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
But is that not true? But JC, let's just be JC, real quick. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest right now. Can you tell me that she does not look a little manly?
I only listen to the show on the clips. I listen to the Streamlabs or the listen line, the 531 number. I listen to. I don't. Oh, I've never actually seen a picture of her.
Okay,
So,
I want you to
don't
look.
know.
I want you to look at when we hang up. I want you to look up Caitlin Clark, and the next time we talk, I'm gonna ask you about it. And I just want an honest opinion.
Caitlin Clark. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to move on. I will look her up, but there's a bigger thing that I wanted to. Well, because first you were saying that men have to give themselves to God and women give themselves to man. I was like, no.
Oh,
Women also need to give themselves to God because man is definitely not greater than God. I was shocked that you said that yesterday.
Good point. You want me to respond to that?
Did you say you're going to? Oh God, I'm looking her up.
Were you looking? You see a picture?
She's a very. That lady is very.
Look, you can't even say it.
Anyways, respond to what you was going to say.
Okay, so do you want me to respond? Are you asking me to respond to? Okay, first let me just respond because I'm running out of time. So when it comes,
I want to Vice Prince vibes too, and then I'll be done.
Okay, so when it comes to the submission thing, is that yes, women ultimately are submitting to God, right? And they are supposed to follow God as well. And the men as well. But the point is that the women, especially if they're married, the women who are married cannot get to God unless through the husband. Because the husband is the example and the head of her to be the same example as Christ is to the man. So if the woman wants to grow in wisdom, her only option when she's married and when she's a little girl growing up with her father is to look to her father or her husband's example to see God. God's not going to reveal things to the woman like that, like he reveals it to the man. That's just because that's how the order is. And that's just how it works. And if the woman wants to grow in spiritual wisdom, her only option is to be obedient to the man because the man is her Christ. And I didn't make it up. That's just how God said it. Do you agree?
I agree with some of the things you say and stuff. That's the thing. But there's also like we can't just not say that women can't do these certain things, that women should always just obey the man and stuff. So there's some things I agree with, there's some things I don't agree with. And I know you got time, so let me at least, as y'all say, smoke on what you said.
Yeah.
And I can give you a proper response.
Yeah.
But before I go, to your caller Prince vibes yesterday, that is toxic. If your husband don't want to respect you, then you need to figure out some counseling or something, because you ain't no concubine, no prostitute or anything. What you want to do with your body is fine.
Don't listen to JC.
Don't listen to Joel. Don't listen to Joel. All right, Joel.
I appreciate it, JC. Call me again.
Bye-bye.
All right. Anyway, I gotta get to these calls. I'm running out of time. Let me go to Emmanuel out of Canada. Emmanuel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Joel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfect.
So I wanted to ask you about the silent prayer first, because I tried to ask Jesse yesterday and he shut me down, bro. What the hell was that?
Wait,
I guess it's because
say it again.
I was talking. Jesse hung up on me yesterday, man.
Oh, what were you doing? Were you acting up?
No, bro. I just asked him a question about the silent prayer and if the crew does it. So, and then I was asking about something else and he just hung up on me. I was like, what the?
Oh, I don't remember, so I can't speak on it. I guess he said call about something real. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was real. I was about to share something real. You didn't even give me a chance.
Well, fair enough.
Anyways.
Yeah, fair enough, because I'm running out of time. Go ahead.
Okay. So, do you do the silent prayer, brother?
Yes.
And what does it do for you? And when you started doing it, like how did it, you know what I mean? How did it play out? How did you notice it, You know what I mean? I'm just curious because, yeah.
I realized that it did help me keep my mind in the present, because I understood that when I watched the thoughts that it would separate me from them. So when I even when I do the silent prayer now, it's not like I feel anything, like I feel ultra spiritual, that I feel any kind of specific way. And I think that's why people fall off, because they don't really feel anything. But when I was doing it for so long and then I stopped doing it, is when I realized that my thoughts were real busy, real crazy. And it was harder to stay present. So what the prayer does for me is just helps me to watch the thoughts and not go with them. And it kind of centers me the longer I do it.
Yeah, I feel that. So do you do it morning and evening? Because, like, okay, I'll tell you what. I was doing it. I started doing it. I started with 5 minutes, worked up to 15. Then I fell off, and my life kind of dropped into hell again. And then I got back on. Yeah. And now I'm kind of struggling with it a little bit, but I don't know. Well, I guess I'm just...
Well, maybe you're not ready to do it, and maybe you don't see the importance of it, and No,
I do see the importance of it, but I've allowed life to distract me. You know what I mean? And so, anyways, I gotta get. Well, I would say I gotta get a hold of it, but I'm just asking God and praying on God to bring me back.
Right. Well, why is it? Why do you think that life got a hold of you and you don't do it? Like, what do you mean by that?
I don't know. I just be kind of drifting and doing stuff that probably could go without doing. That's just like on the phone type stuff, like just getting distracted.
But do you think that if you saw that it was beneficial, like truly understood, then you would be more inclined to do it?
That's a good question. You know what? I'll tell you this. I did see somebody say one time in the comments thread that the silent prayer was like training wheels for somebody learning to separate themselves from their thoughts, and that eventually you get to a point where you don't even need the silent prayer. And then it's like, what do you think about that?
Eventually you do get to a place, I still do the silent prayer, but eventually I would imagine you get to a place where you're constantly in the present. And when you're constantly aware, then there's no reason to be aware in the morning or at night. You know what I mean? Like, you're already in a state of awareness. So the silent prayer is for the purpose is to bring you back to the present, not like a thing that you do forever, unless you never make it, unless you can't help yourself and you continue to be in your mind. But but you can only do it as well and stay consistent if you are interested. And if you're not interested, then just it's like a suffer thing. Suffer till you're ready.
Okay, so Joel, I'm an artist, right? If I were to identify with anything, I would be an artist. I paint. I like to make music, and so Jesse says the imagination is evil, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I struggle with that because this is what I think. I think the devil or the darkness works through the imagination, but that doesn't mean the imagination is evil. It was given to us by God.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Jesse's a little mixed up with that.
Well, I think what he says, and this is what I believe, what he means by it, is that the Satan knows that the imagination is a powerful tool, right? And he gets involved in it, like you say. But when it's time to use the mind in a proper way, whether it be to play an instrument or draw or whatever you do, you can use it to be constructive. But when it's time to put it down, you should put it down and not constantly play in the imagination.
Yeah, because you can get lost in it. And
exactly.
That's the risk.
Exactly. So, you should use it.
Is Hassan still with you guys?
Yeah, he's here, but he's not. He's not here right now. But yeah, he's here.
He's just posted up in the back somewhere.
He audio engineer for JLP. He's back there.
He probably making his dog a coat.
You watched it?
Oh man.
Are you a long time listener, or are you fairly
Yeah,
new?
man, it's been like 3 years, bro. So near the start of the pandemic, actually, is when I first. Okay, the first time I ever heard about the JLP show was through Tyson James, right?
Nice.
You know, like that song, Beta.
Yeah. Fire.
So, yeah. And then I started listening. I thought Jesse was crazy, bro. But then the more I listened, the more I caught on to the deeper meaning and message, right?
Yeah.
And then my eyes just started to open up. And, like, much like you said before, like, I kind of became a Jesse thumper, you know, and, like, all that stuff. But, yeah, man, long-time listener.
Right on.
And, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the call, man. I hope that made sense. And call me again. Good conversation.
Yeah, bless you guys. Hey, yo, tell your boy Zenny to chill out in the mod section, bro.
To relax. All right, I'll let him know.
Okay.
All right, man.
Bro.
All right. Zenny, normally I stick up for the mods, but Zenny, I know how you can be. I know how you get, Zenny. So relax a little bit. You know what I mean? But shout out to Zenny. Mod Squad, the mod on the JFTV podcast, live chat, Snake Pit. Holding it down. Let me go to Rick out of Virginia. Let's try to move these calls. Rick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joel? What's going on with you, dude?
All is well, Rick. How are you?
I'm fine, man, for Wednesday halfway hump day.
Nice.
Yeah, so. Yeah, you know, too, you were saying earlier, too, that, Joel, I think, you know, like what the Democrats doing, I'm not telling believers to fight tooth for tooth.
Right.
But, you know, sort of stand up more.
Yeah.
I guess you understand what I'm saying. Stand
I
up
agree.
more. You know, like for example, let me ask you a question. I had a friend of mine that asked me this. She works for the VA hospital. You know, of course, it's government ran, and they got, and you know, this month is the Alphabet Group month.
Yeah.
So she's a Christian. She volunteered. I told her I wouldn't have volunteered. I said because you know what their agenda is, and she said, "Well, I may can go down and minister to them." I said, "I could see that, but." For that function that day, I wouldn't have went. You know, I say, because other Christians question. I said, "Well, you think that's what was she doing going there?" I said, "Well, don't get upset if they question you, because now you know all your actions when you live for God should not have any doubt that it's right." You know what I'm saying, Joel?
So I'm confused. Are you saying that you told her not to go preach to the?
I told her I wouldn't have went.
Oh, okay.
But she said she wanted to go there to minister to someone in case she had the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I just said, and she was saying some of her coworkers who are Christians as well. You know, they say they are Christians. They asked her, "Why are you going there if you're a believer?" I said, "Well, don't get upset with them because that's a good question. Because they say if you're a believer, but you're going to volunteer at the events, they like, okay, your actions is being questionable."
Well, the issue already is that it sounds like she's already looking at them as the enemy, and she already lost. She's the enemy because, you know what I mean? And we don't go there to try to save people because that's already making it out to be like you're better and they're worse. And that's a problem too. And that's what a lot of street preachers and people do is that they're like, oh, let me go save the sinners. But it's like, that's a blind thought. You know what I mean? It's like, let them do their thing. And if there's an opportunity that comes up to where you can, you know, speak on what you believe, then cool. But these are not second-class citizens. These are people too that just have their things that they are into that, you know, are what they are. But yeah, it gets weird when we try to like as Christians try to go down there and save the world. Like it's not godly as like we think it comes off to be, you know?
Right, because what it comes out to what it looks like they're doing, it's just like, okay, I say I'm a Christian, but yet I'm going to strip clubs and I'm in there trying to save souls.
Right.
Now I may not be doing nothing. But it's the appearance of it. And God even tells you to stay away from anything that they will question your character.
Right.
Stay away from it. Don't even, if it even questionable, stay away from it.
Right.
That's Romans 5:18 that says, abstain for all forms of evil. Even if it looks evil, stay away from it. That way they won't question you.
There you go.
And,
there you go.
Right there on the minute, though. Oh, one more thing I want to comment on, Joel, about the submission yesterday. Can I comment on that?
Yeah, really quick.
I think people will submit if they not in a fallen state. People submit means just trying to meet each other's needs,
Yeah.
But I think when people want submission, they looking for that other person to make them happy.
Right.
And that's not the case. I mean, you ask somebody to give you something that only God can give you.
Right.
And God tells you how to have peace and happiness, but can't no one make you happy and give you peace. You're supposed to already have that.
Exactly.
But a lot of people look to get it from somewhere else, and then when they don't make them happy, they feel like they're not submitting to them.
Right. And then they get mad at them for not giving them what they think that they want, but you're supposed to submit and be obedient no matter what, period. Even if the husband or the wife is not doing their part, you do your part anyway, period.
Right. And we tend to look at other people's behavior. Like if you get into a disagreement with your family member or coworker, you apologize, and if they don't apologize, you doing the right thing. Don't let no one else's behavior keep you from doing the right thing. And I see a lot of us do that. Well, they ain't apologize. I'm not apologizing.
Yeah, exactly.
You just evil with that person. you just apologize for yourself, and whether they apologize or not, because the truth of the matter is they're just miserable.
Right.
They don't have no conviction.
Exactly. Great points, Rick. That's great points. I appreciate you calling in and getting that point in. I totally got to end, but thanks for calling me. Call me again. Joel.
Got you that, Joel, man. Love the show. Keep it going, my brother. Love you all, man.
Appreciate it, Rick. Thank you. Will do. Right on. Crap. Super chats. Let me see real quick. Okay, let me read it. The key says, Bada Donut, Joel, do you agree that it is a wife's duty to obey her husband? If yes, then why can't you see that God's children have a duty to obey the father? I get what you're saying 100%, and I agree. I think that the children's job is to obey the father, right? But I'm not into doing it in namesake only. You know what I mean? I'm not into doing it because somebody told me to do it. And when you're in it to it that way, it doesn't last long, right? You burn out, you get tired, you fall off. So I rather be real until I understand what these things mean. And I rather people do it that way, so that way they know that they know and they can do it properly. That's just what I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm wrong about that, you know what I mean? But yeah, when people say obey the father, like that sounds good, and it sounds like you just follow all the rules and you do everything God tells you not to do, and just do the Bible and do. And yes, you can try to do that, but it's not going to last long. You're going to continue to fall. You're going to continue to make these mistakes because you're not following it because you understand it. You're following it because you feel like you're commanded to do it. And that doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel like that's a pursuit you want to do. And I would rather for myself be like that. So yes, if the wife is not, or you should know before you marry her if she even understands what obedience means. Same for the husband. So you guys shouldn't even be thinking about marriage until both of you guys are in alignment with knowing what that means. So that's what I mean by the key. Great question. And I hope that my answer makes sense. I got to end. Don't say the S word, kids. I didn't say the S word. Did I say the S word? I don't know if Chris was talking to me. But I got to end. Leo and the others, I'm sorry I couldn't get to you. There's still super chats that I couldn't get to. I'm sorry I'm so out of time. I'm working with 1 hour, doing the best I can. You got to forgive me. I'll read them tomorrow and get to your calls tomorrow. American Anchor Baby's coming in, and he got some stuff to show y'all, as always. So Joel Friday TV across the board, JLP Network across the board. Follow, subscribe, share, and get the message out, y'all, because we got to do it. Until next time, I got to go. Love y'all. IG, YouTube. Bye.